So when I decided to replace the Freak Athlete Hyper Pro, one of the most popular questions I got was, what are you gonna replace it with? Well, this is what I replaced it with. The Apex Nordic back extension machine V3. Today I'm gonna tell you whether it was the right decision, what I like about this thing, what I don't like about this thing, and whether perhaps it holds a place in your own gym. Let's get to it. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Strength and Steel Reviews. My name is Chris, I'm a dad, I'm a personal trainer, and clearly I'm a home gym equipment reviewer. And today we're reviewing the Apex, no longer the Tib Bar guy, Nordic back extension machine V3. Now for any of you that have not been keeping up, I recently made a video on surrendering my Freak Athlete Hyper Pro. It's a multifunctional piece of equipment. A lot of people thought I was dogging it for what it was. I was not. It just was not the right piece for me. That is the case with a lot of equipment. It's the case with all things. It's the case with ketchup, mustard, donuts, and certainly exercise equipment, people. Sometimes equipment is right for someone else, but it isn't right for you. That doesn't mean the equipment is bad, and it's certainly not what I was saying. What I was saying was that I didn't use all of the functions on the Hyper Pro that it was designed for. My needs were pretty simple. I wanted primarily two movements. I wanted a back extension, and I wanted to be able to do Nordic curls. So I wanted a much easier machine to operate, something far simpler in design. And ultimately, what led me to make the decision to buy the Nordic back extension machine V3 was you guys. You mentioned it in the comments, enough people did, I looked into it, and it seemed to me to be the most feasible option. Now overall, my experience with this machine is pretty mixed, but it's positive more than it is negative. I like a lot about it. I certainly think there are some things that could be improved upon. I'm going to discuss what I like about it and what could be improved upon today so that you can decide whether perhaps this kind of machine is right for your gym. And if you do decide that this machine might perhaps be right for your gym, check out the affiliate link below in the description. You buy it through there, you support the channel, and for that I say thank you. So yeah, after listening to your suggestions, I conducted my own research and I did come to the conclusion that this seemed to be the best option available. I wanted something that, like I said, was simple to use, but I wanted it to be relatively compact. Now, something I will mention for me as a negative, and keep in mind everything that I'm going to say today is subjective. These are my opinions. I'm not proclaiming them as absolute truths that you guys should all believe and mindlessly submit to. These are just ideas, they're my feelings. That's what you're here for, that's what you get. And one of the first things that stuck out to me upon assembling this machine is it's rather long. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it is. It's about 5 feet long, and the reason why it's long is so that it can provide you with a full-length pad for a Nordic curl. A lot of machines like the Shogun, Nord X are much smaller, much more compact because they don't provide that full-length pad. That is both a positive and a negative, right? First of all, the pad is really long, which means it's really comfortable. But it's a negative, at least for me in my gym, because it is really long and ultimately it juts a bit further out into my floor space than I would like. So in hindsight, I do still wish I got the Shogun Nord X, but they're sold out right now and they're incredibly expensive. I'm hoping someday they'll send me one for a review. In the meantime, I still think this is the best option. Let me continue. So yeah, it's a little bit longer than I would like. Another thing that I kind of struggle with is this is the extra padding for the Nordic curl. I don't have anywhere to store this. For any of you that have spent any amount of time on my channel, you know that I'm reluctant to accept attachments for these kinds of pieces, which is one of the reasons why I surrendered the Hyper Pro, because then I have to find somewhere to store them. Now what I've been doing is I just leave this pad on top of the Nordic back extension machine V3. It is truly a mouthful, but I don't like that. That's not ideal for me. I like there to be a place. I don't like leaving it there, but I've surrendered myself again to that idea, and that is where it remains. But to me, that is a negative. Now, let's talk about some things that I do like. Now, what I really do like about this machine is the back extension function, and this is the function that I use the most. This is the #1 function for me. If it didn't work well, this thing would no longer be here, but it does work really well. It's highly adjustable, it's simple to use, as I've said, and it's also got this glorious cutout for your giblets, which makes it all the more comfortable to use. The padding is nice. It does everything you need a good back extension to do. And the truth is, even though the machine is a little bit longer than I would like, there is no doubt that its length also affords the machine greater stability, especially if you like to do back extensions with weight, which generally you should. You're only going to want to use body weight so long before you decide to progressively overload. If you're going to progressively overload, you can use a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell, you can use a plate, you can use whatever, but you want a stable machine in order to progressively overload with hyperextensions. This machine 100% allows for that. And it doesn't hurt that I can also sit on these rollers back here and chill out between sets. I do like that. I am not a lazy dude, but I've sat on back extensions before that have platforms jutting up in the back that prevent me from sitting down like this. And that's a buzzkill, man. I like being able to chill on my back extension between sets. I just do. So overall, the back extension function is killer. I don't think there's that much more to say about it. I said the pad's comfortable. I told you guys in previous videos that I'm not a pad snob. It feels nice. I'm not hanging out here all day, but it seems to be a pretty comfortable vinyl pad. Now, let me show you what it's like to transition from the back extension to a full Nordic curl. Okay, I was gonna change angles, but you know what? I'm just gonna do it right from here. So you have to raise up the back extension pad, and I've got it all marked right down here, just above the number 4. Then you're gonna grab the pad, which has to lie carelessly on the ground somewhere, which is so depressing. Did I mention I don't like that? I'm just kidding. I know that I did. You're gonna reverse the pad like so, and then there's this pin here. See that? Clack, clack. That's gonna go through this hole. Now here is another struggle that I've had. So the pin is supposed to cut all the way through the frame here. And then it's supposed to lock in, and it's supposed to secure through the other side. I spoke to Tib Bar Guy, now Apex, about this issue. Mine does not go all the way through. It's supposed to go all the way through, thread through the hole, and then you turn and you tighten it so that it does not move at all. I can't get it through. No matter how I adjust these bolts or this bracket, the issue remains. So is it comfortable enough like this? Yeah, absolutely. Is it locked in perfectly tight? No. I am not saying this will be the case for everyone that buys a Nordic back extension machine V3, but it is an issue with me. And I spent a lot of time initially upon assembling it, trying to figure it out. I surrendered myself to the process, accepted that it was what it was, and I just waited for it to irritate me moving forward. But it really didn't. It doesn't bother me at all. When I do my Nordic curls, it's stable, it's fine. That's just the truth. If it irritated me, I'd let you know. Now, once you've got the pad set in here, there's another pop pin. You just lower it down and you're in action. See what I'm saying about this being easy, intuitive, and simple? This is why I like this machine. I love how easy that is. Now, a full Nordic curl is pretty hard to do. I guess I'm gonna try to do another one on screen to show off to you guys or embarrass myself. Either is perfectly fine. But you can tighten down this pad in the back, really get it tight if you want to nail a Nordic curl. This textured foot pad, foot platform is pretty nice. And again, it is excellent that you have a full pad because ordinarily you'd have to face the floor. Some people don't like that. Some people are primitive like me and we don't really care. The pad's nice. If it was floor, I'd be okay. Let's do a Nordic curl. Let's see if we still got it. Whew. Yeah, usually you're scaling these. I'll show you that in a minute. Oh, now, nice, I did it. Didn't embarrass myself. I know my back is not perfectly straight. I haven't done many Nordic curls lately, I'll be honest. I do back extensions more than I do Nordic curls. That's just the truth. Ideally, you want to progress your way towards a full Nordic curl. And now that is one of the best parts about this machine is that you can work your way there. You can start in an inclined position, and here you could pay more attention to the eccentric component, come down, push, and you're just giving most of your attention to the eccentric portion of the movement. And then progressively, you continue to lower the incline until you're flat and then end up being a total G like me on camera, nailing Nordic curls with subpar form. So you could potentially be like that if you play your cards right, but don't dare to hope. But yeah, see here the pad is like slightly wriggling. I don't know if that's the case with anybody out there. If you have one of these, let me know in the comments. If you also have that issue, I would genuinely like to know. Now, something else that's nice is that you can store this upright. So let me show you how to do that. It's a light piece. There's a handle here and boom, like so. It is relatively narrow, so you can tuck this into a corner. I don't usually like it when machines are just standing upright somewhere in my gym staring at me. I don't like being watched, but realistically, that is a huge plus. You can tuck this into a corner like this, and it's light, so it's easy to maneuver. But you guys know with me, it's all about accessibility. I don't even want to pull something down. I want to sit down. I want to use it. If I have to make adjustments, I want those adjustments to be incremental, super simple, super easy to do. And it's really well built. I think it's pretty fairly priced at like 500 bucks. I think most of the Apex stuff is pretty well priced. I know 500 bucks is not cheap, but if you're willing to invest in a good piece of equipment, this is it. And at least it is not the like 1,200 bucks that the Shogun Nord X is, as much as I wish I had that. So comparatively, it's well priced, it's light, it's easy to use. It is not perfect for me. I wish it was a little bit shorter. I wish that pad had somewhere to go, and I wish it secured firmly to the frame. Those are my chief complaints. But otherwise, I think you guys steered me pretty well. I think this is gonna hang around for a little while unless I stumble upon something more compact. If you guys know about something more compact that I should consider, please let me know and further complicate this whole process of settling on a machine like this. Let the saga continue, why not? But that's it for the review. You guys know the deal. Like the video, comment. It boosts the algorithm, gives me more attention, which is good. I don't know how it works, nobody does, but if you do that, it's good for me. So if you like me, do that. That would be great. Otherwise, you guys stay strong, you stay steely, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.